Welcome back to the second day of 12 days of self-care with Xara. Today we're talking all about feet care. So if you struggle with feet odor, like your feet being dry, just feet irritation, everything with the feet, this is the video for you. When I tell you I have struggled with my feet, like the dryness of it, for a couple years now, and I feel like this year is the year I really grabbed onto a routine that's been really helping me. So I'm gonna go in detail of how I do my feet care, my daily feet care, my weekly, how I exfoliate, how I do like my own foot soak. There's this foot soak I'm about to show you. When I tell you dead skin was floating on the water, this is something I found out like a couple years ago, but I'll talk about it later. And one thing I've noticed with my feet is like taking care of it doesn't take a lot. I think it's just like being mindful of what you do and how you take care of it. First, you need to know your own feet. Diet does play a big role, but also like seasons changing does play a big role. Like in the summer, I don't struggle with dry feet as much as the winter. So like now I've just been giving it extra care because one thing is if you don't take care of your feet, that's what causes that odor. So, you pick up your shoes, you smell it, or even you leave and you're like, what's that smell? That might be coming from your feet. Check, like it's something awful. And I'm gonna be showing you the routine that I have been doing the whole year. I used to always forget feet care. At the end of my showers, I'll just, quickly rinse it and then get out, and then it'll just kind of stack up. And that was something I've always ignored for years. But when you're like, when you pay attention to it more, like now my skin, the heels, like even when I do struggle with dry skin, I know how to take care of it. I know how to bounce back from it. And I have baby soft feet. And those heels are smooth. So let's start with the feet care routine. It's actually a couple days later and I realized that a voiceover is not gonna cut it. Like I have a lot more to say, so I'm gonna talk to you as I'm showing you my routine. The first thing with feet care, you need a routine. So now I have a monthly routine, a weekly routine, and then a daily routine. What I'm about to show you is my monthly routine. So let's get started. So for my monthly routine, I like to soak my feet with these two products. It might not make sense, but listen to me. It's mouthwash with alcohol and apple cider vinegar with the mother. With the mother is basically the good bacteria. Something about these two, I discovered this back in like high school. I used to search for hygiene YouTube. Like back in 2016, 2015, I found this and I was like, oh, I have this. Like it's so affordable to get. So I got like some not too expensive of a mouthwash, like an off-brand, and then I got apple cider vinegar. I put it, soaked it. When I tell you I saw dead skin floating, like all of the dry dead skin that you have on your heels and everything like that, it just made it soft. So as I was scrubbing it, it was just like falling off my feet. I was like I need to really do some research, like some scientific stuff, because how does mouthwash with alcohol, apple cider vinegar together cause this concoction to make all the dead skin on my feet leave? If anybody knows, please let me know in the comments. So what I actually do is I get this bucket. My mom got it from Costco like a couple years ago, and it basically just creates bubbles. That's the only thing that's for you. I used to use just containers, regular containers, like those plastic clear ones, and I would put warm to hot water. Not like hot where it's like burning your feet, making the skin on your feet melt, but just like enough that it's like warm and you can soak in it. I soak my feet for 20 minutes and I'm like scrolling, whatever I have to do. I'm just like on it, but I make sure it's like 20 minutes because you want the skin on your feet to really loosen up. And that's one thing that this concoction does. And before I soak my feet, I need to show you my feet from the morning of. It's very dry, very scary. So sometimes this happens to me, especially like during the winter. And so that's why I have to do this more often, use a pumice stone and everything that I'll show you later. But at the end of my routine, it looks like this. So I soak my feet for 20 minutes and I just keep it in there, almost like softening the skin on my feet so that it's easier to scrub off the dead skin. And one thing I realized is like having dead skin and like you're not scrubbing it off and then you're adding moisturizers and body butters every single night, it's only gonna stack. And then your feet's gonna look like this much dead skin. And then also starts cracking and then the heels start, that's the one thing I wanna avoid. So whenever I see my feet looking very dry, cracking, I immediately do this, and I don't have to do it more than once a month. I go straight inside the shower. So before I used to actually just like scrub my feet as I'm like right after soaking it inside the bucket. But now what I realize is like just go take a shower, get that done. I feel like it doesn't really make a difference. So like sitting down, doing it, and inside the shower. So inside the shower, I do my feet care last. So I wash my feet last because all the body wash, everything from the dirt, from your hair to your body, it goes to your toes and it just sits. All the soap with the dirt and everything. So I make sure to do that last. And so right before I get out of the shower, I use a Dio antibacterial soap. This is one thing that actually helped me this past year. You can actually just use any soap, honestly. Antibacterial soap kills bacteria. So I feel like this helps. I've also used Panoxyl, but I just feel like this is just a better way because that Dio antibacterial soap could be for my hands. Like 2-in-1, you know? Like I do get pedicures every single month, but one thing I stopped doing is getting like full-on pedicure. So I like doing my own, soaking my feet at home. And so like this past month I discovered you can get like a dry pedicure, which not even dry. They just paint your nails and you can do your own pedicure at home. I didn't know that. So I could have been doing that the whole time. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let them paint it because they know how to do that better. Before painting it, I would do my own pedicure at home, which is basically this and like cutting my own cuticles and everything. Then after I just rinse it, when I get out of the shower, this is one of the most important parts for me. To keep up with my feet care and not have fungus overgrowth and like unneeded bacteria and the scent and the odor that like moisture causes, I dry my feet. I say this all the time, but basically like in between, I usually get like a towel or paper towel or something like that. I dry in between the toes, on top of my toenails, under my toenails, just really make sure that it's dry. Even if I didn't get the water fully, I go in with either baby powder or I go in with this, it's like a athlete's foot type of spray. And I like that one better because I could just use it. Like I don't have to have a lot of mess with the baby powder. So I got the baby powder first. And then after I came back from Bali, like my feet was in a weird condition, was irritated, very itchy. And I feel like it's because I was in another part of the world. Maybe like the environment got to my feet. I got this athlete's foot spray and it works. Listen, and it's basically just powder. So when you spray it in between your toes, it basically soaks up all the water so that it's not holding any moisture. I can put on lotion without being worried like, oh my goodness, is this moisture gonna be trapped? Because usually, I'm always wearing socks, I'm always wearing closed-toed shoes. So it's like if I don't fully dry and take care of my feet, that's when all this irritation, odor, itchiness comes. To finish off my feet care routine, I go in with like a very moisturizing, either foot cream, regular body, but like a heavy body butter, something like that, because I do this routine at nighttime. I'm a night showerer. Since it's already nighttime, I go in with a lot of foot cream, just lather it all over my feet, just so when I wake up the next day, especially during winter, it's not cracked and dry. And then also like if that keeps up, that's when the dead skin just stacks up and also it gets irritated, especially for my feet. Obviously I'm talking with my experience and not everybody's is like this intense, and I promise it's not chronic, okay? This is just something that has been happening the past couple of years. I'm like, is it me? Is it age? Am I just getting older? But this year I feel like this routine has been helping me keep up with that, and it hasn't been as dry as last year. To finish off this whole thing, okay? Once I lather it with this like foot cream body butter, I go in with the very like fuzzy, you know, that type of socks. I put it on, I don't like sleeping with socks. So I put it on just so that body butter can really seep into my feet. If I have the socks on until before going to bed, once I take it off to go to bed, it just feels so smooth, so soft. And so that's basically my routine. What I do monthly is the foot soak. What I do weekly is the pumice stone. With the pumice stone, I don't know why it keeps breaking. This is like my third foot scrub that I've had where the pumice stone keeps breaking. So if you have any suggestions, I got that one from a grocery store. The other one that broke was from Amazon. But if you have anything that like won't break, let me know. And then every single day I use the brush, or if not, I just use some type of like gloves, something to help it clean. Some days I even just use the antibacterial soap with my own hands, which is enough. It just depends on the day. Like, did I have a very sweaty day? Was I just home the whole day? I forgot to mention, let your feet breathe. Especially during the winter, we're wearing closed-toed shoes all the time where our feet is not able to breathe. I usually walk around with house slippers, but sometimes I don't wear socks with my house slippers because I just need my feet to breathe. But most of the time I'm wearing socks, closed-toed shoes, so I air out my shoes, air out like my feet, because it just needs that. But that is my feet care routine, and when I tell you the next day, my foot, both feet actually, felt so moisturized. It was so glowy. I just love when my feet looks like this and it just looks taken care of because my nails are painted, my feet is scrubbed, exfoliated, soft, moisturized. It just helps me just feel confident. And like before, I used to like not even want to look at my feet because I'm like, I don't even take care of it. Like I used to pick on my nails where like my nails on my feet was like different sizes and shapes and I was just like, no. And something small as like taking care of your feet, like why are you doing that? Why is it a big deal? It is a big deal. One thing that I just feel like is neglected, which I have neglected before, is feet care. So it's very important to just like eliminate odor, to have that like just healthy feet. A feet you want to look at. But that's a wrap on my feet care routine. This is actually not a giveaway video, but I wanted to announce yesterday's giveaway winner. So this is the winner for yesterday's giveaway. Thank you so much for your sweet messages. Like I've been reading the messages and it's so encouraging. I'm actually going to be doing this 5 more times. So just come back and see which video has a giveaway in it. But thank you so much for watching and come again.